Hello, friends and comrades. Welcome to the Northwest Ohio Communist Party USA Introductory Meeting and Q&A. A little history on the CPUSA. We are an American Communist Party, so naturally we come from a history of factions and splits from other parties, but we recognize our formal founding as being in 1919 in Chicago. We were the first racially integrated political party in the United States, and we ran presidential candidates from 1924 to 1984. On the right, you can see Gus Hall, who served as our national chairman for a number of years. He ran in a total of 4 presidential elections, 2 alongside Angela Davis, who you can see on the left. She served as vice chairwoman nationally for a number of years. And then in the middle, you can see Jarvis Tyner, who ran alongside Gus Hall in the other 2 elections, and he also served as vice chairman nationally alongside Gus Hall. So the CPUSA is divided into districts. Obviously, we are a part of the Ohio district, and the Sam Pollock Club is the Northwest Ohio Club of the Ohio district. Sam Pollock was born in 1909 in Cleveland and moved to Toledo when he was approximately 4 years old. He attended the University of Toledo as well as BGSU, but he did not graduate from either of these colleges. He went on to be a national organizer for the Amalgamated Meat Cutters Union and later went on to be the district president in 1952. And he first rose to prominence in the labor movement in 1934 during the Toledo Auto Light strike. So in the early 20th century, Toledo was a huge auto manufacturing town. Workers at the Autolite plant made lighting and ignition systems for multiple major auto corporations, such as Chrysler and others. The Depression hit Toledo very, very hard, and approximately 1 in 3 workers in Toledo were unemployed. The workers that still had a job at Autolite were making less than the 40 to 43 cents per hour that was established by FDR's National Industrial Recovery Act of 1933, and after months of negotiations between their union, AFL Federal Local 18384, and Autolite, with no improvement in wages or work conditions, the workers organized a strike themselves and walked out on April 23, 1934. Members of the Lucas County Unemployed League, including Sam Pollock, understood the importance of solidarity between workers and the unemployed. They joined the workers on their picket line. Judges filed injunctions against the workers and the Unemployed League, but they continued to strike and gain the support of the community. At one point, it was reported that as many as 10,000 people were actively participating in pickets outside of the Autolite plant. On May 23rd, police fired tear gas from the roof of the Autolite plant. The strikers fought the police and company thugs and took control of the plant, taking scabs hostage. When 900 National Guardsmen arrived 15 hours later, a battle began that lasted 6 days. Dozens of National Guardsmen were injured, and some were reported to have just quit and left. On May 31st, the troops were called off, and on June 1st, a rally was held in support of the majority of AFL locals voting in favor of a general strike. On June 4th, a 6-month contract was agreed to that included a 5% wage increase for the workers. Winning this strike was a huge deal for American workers. Author Sidney Lenz writes in her book Labor Wars, "The path was open for organization of the entire automobile industry. With the Autolite strike victory under their belts, the Toledo auto workers went on to organize 19 plants before the year was out, and before another 12 months were to lead the first successful strike in a GM plant, the real beginning of the conquest of General Motors." So, as communists, our party program states that we are to build broad unity to achieve the strategic and tactical goals of the working class, bring forward working class leadership and the interests of the working class in all progressive movements, and build full class and socialist consciousness. So, as communists, we engage in struggle in our communities, and we help others engage in those struggles to understand that our struggles are interconnected, that they share common factors, and that if we really want to overcome these problems, we need to unite against our capitalist oppressors, right? So that's essentially the job of a communist today. As stated in Article 5 of our Constitution, it shall be the obligation of all party members to struggle against all racist ideologies and practices, It shall be the obligation of all party members to fight for full equality for immigrant workers and their families, including the right to a path to citizenship. It shall be the obligation of all party members to fight for the dignity and full social, political, and economic equality for women, and it shall be the obligation of all party members to fight for full social and civil rights for all, regardless of sexual orientation or gender expression. At the Sam Pollock Club, those with ideological differences, we are willing to engage with those in a productive way. We are willing to resolve issues democratically. We are willing to address any differences that we have. But any hate speech or any discrimination on these grounds will not be recognized as an ideological difference, and it will not be tolerated. So that's the presentation. If you have any questions, please leave them below or email sampollockcpusa@gmail.com. We'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. Have a pleasant day.